Today, I'll show you how I plan my travels, and many people I've talked to about this seem to overcomplicate this part for no reason at all. Are you like this as well? If so, in today's video, I'll show you my simplified, stress-free process on planning my travels. Or at least I think it's simple. By the end, you'll be able to plan a trip in under an hour easily. But yeah, I haven't traveled for several months now because just me and I are building our home base here in Canada, and as much as we both love to travel, for us it's important to also have a home to come home to, especially with our plans for the future and whatnot. A home is a must-have for us. So we are currently staying at our apartment now, but the place we got is currently being built, and there's like a huge time frame in terms of when we'll take possession of it. So that's why we haven't really gone out traveling as much, but we do have some little road trips to kind of fill the gap here and there. And yeah, technically our home is gonna be built this year, and if that goes as planned, we hope to be back to traveling shortly right after. But for now, I guess it's a good time to plan for our future upcoming travels. So this is how I usually plan my travels, okay? Many people usually start off with the destination first. I don't. I usually go with what I want to experience, and right now I feel I want to experience more of Europe. A European country with beautiful nature, quiet countryside that is also very inexpensive, because Europe is just expensive to travel to as a whole. So to start, there's usually 3 ways I start off with my planning. And the first one is, if I want to be spontaneous and have the flexibility, I usually go on the Skyscanner Explore Everywhere feature. Before I do this, I'm just gonna actually share with you my screen here. And so here on Skyscanner, you could go on the Explore Everywhere option, and then you can kind of, if you're flexible, you could also pick which month you wanna travel in, and let's say that you want to go sometime around, let's say June or something, okay? And then you just search it up, and then from here it'll show you the cheapest flights for that month. And as you can see, we have Canada here, United States, Costa Rica. You got tickets starting at 234 Canadian dollars, and you got Mexico at 263. There's flights to the UK for $200. Now the second one is very obvious, and that is countries I desire to go to. I have a list of them, and I'll just pick whichever one I want to go to. And then lastly, I usually go by what I'd like to experience, and which I mentioned earlier, I want to experience more of the European countryside and beautiful nature. And then so I want peace and quiet for one. Okay, I want to be in Europe. I want it to be inexpensive, and yeah, I want it to be that. So, since we have AI now, I usually just use AI. So I would, type in a prompt saying, what are the best countries to travel to this year in Europe that is inexpensive, has beautiful nature, countryside as well, peaceful, I guess. So this is saying Romania is one of the top budget-friendly, nature-rich European destinations, and it has reasons here why you should go: dramatic mountains, scenic countryside, fairy tale towns, and like Brasov and Sibiu. I'm probably butchering that, and abundant hiking trails, which is a huge plus because I love the outdoors. Rustic forests, medieval villages, calm rural can't even pronounce that. Rural landscapes, and the budget is about $40 to $55 per day. That is actually fairly good for Europe. Peaceful highlights, not even gonna bother pronouncing that, but it's some sort of highway. And okay, so from there, once I've decided and I'm okay with this place, which I am because I haven't been to Romania, I've been traveling to Asia I at least been going there every year now, and I feel as much as I love that part of the world, I just need a break. So it's time to explore different parts of the world. And I've been to Europe before as well, but it's just been, my travels have been dominated by Southeast Asia and kind of like that part of the world. And I know Europe is there as well, but that continent alone has just been, I just love it there. It's just, yeah, I always have such an amazing time there. Also been to Latin America, but I feel like I want to see more of Europe, so I'm okay with that. Romania is that, and the next thing I'm gonna do is go into Google, and because I'm a visual person, I want to see what the place looks like. So I'm just gonna type in Romania travel, and then I'm gonna go on images. And because I'm a content creator, I also want to see if it's photogenic and if it's beautiful and all that, which I'm sure it is. And then it's, once I pull it up here, it looks like they've got beautiful landscape, beautiful castles, architecture. It just looks, it looks very, very majestic. And also from a content creation perspective, this looks aesthetically pleasing. So that's another thing I definitely consider, because I create content, so I want the place to look good as well. And then after that, I'll browse through a couple of photos and images and whatnot, and after that I'll go into searching, back to ChatGPT again, searching the best times to travel in Romania. Which month, I guess I could type in. Okay, so it says here that, the perfect balance for everything is May through June, but, I like it when it's less crowded, and I'm just trying to see. It looks like this is, from September to October is when it's, there's fewer tourists, so this, I assume this is low season. So autumn colors and forests and mountains, stunning. Harvest season in rural areas, wine, plums, local food, fewer tourists than the summer, which is amazing. That's what I want. And the vibe is, it's very reflective, romantic, and the countryside is very calm. So from there, I would pick a date or a month. So it's definitely around September or October for me, just because I prefer traveling to places during low season. And then from there, I would look at visa requirements when traveling to Romania as a Canadian. So I'll just look at visa requirements, and it looks like Canadians are able to travel for 90 days, and we don't need a visa, which is great. Passport must be valid, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I look at the visa requirements, and then once I'm I got that kind of figured out, then I'm gonna go on YouTube, and I'll probably spend 10 to 15 minutes to just watch travel guides, vlogs, and whatever's out there. So this one has Romania top 10, a week in Romania. So I'll probably, I won't watch the entire video, but I'll just probably skim through it. So yeah, like I said, I'll spend about 10 to 15 minutes just to get an understanding of the amount of things to do. And then after, I would just type in the best cities for tourists to visit in Romania with places to visit in those cities. Does that even make sense? So it's gonna generate a bunch of places, and then from here I'll type in these places into, for example, I'm probably butchering this, Sibiu. I'll type this into Google, and then I'll type in big square and small square Sibiu, and then I'll pull that up on Google Maps and then star it, and I'll go through them. And then obviously if I find more, then I'll just add them later on, but these are the main ones. There's Bucharest here. There's, I can't even pronounce this. I feel like when I travel to Romania and I start pronouncing or saying these things, it's just, I'm gonna butcher it, just like the Denmark vlog, you know? But nonetheless, I'm gonna go through each one, and then I would start this in Google Maps. And then, yeah, from there, I'd also look at accommodations. I look at booking.com. It's a great app of which, you know, if you're not a member of and you travel a lot, I highly suggest being a member of booking.com. They're not paying me to say this, but I've saved a lot of money because you get a lot of perks and deals when you book a lot with them. And I'm at the highest tier now, and it's just, yeah, I save hundreds or thousands of dollars just because, yeah, I am a member, and there's, yeah, all you have to do is just book through them. But nonetheless, yeah, I'm gonna punch this in my phone so that it's starred. And because of the YouTube videos I've watched, I look at transportation costs, and it seems that renting a car is probably the best. So I'll just roughly browse through, and then I'll, you know, jot it down roughly how much it is on a daily. Then again, once the trip gets closer, I'll do a proper budgeting for the trip. So I'll probably go to a car rental place or website, sorry, not place, car rentals in Romania. You know, it's crazy. Some of these are like $8 per day. What? Is this real? Anyways, I'll probably double that just in case per day, because, you know, we all know this is probably a marketing scheme. Or maybe it isn't, who knows? See, it's 14 bucks now. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jot this down, you know, just to get a better understanding of how much cost is gonna be. I'm just gonna say, you know, instead of 11, I'm gonna put $25 a day, just to create that cushion, and then, you know, I'll multiply it by however long I plan to stay in Romania. And then next I'll randomly scroll through flights, and now this will give me an idea of how much, you know, how much it'll roughly cost me. I usually go into the details about my budget closer to date, but for now I'm gonna just go into Skyscanner once again, and then we want to go around September, so let's type in Romania, and then we want to go around September. Is it September and October? Yeah, beginning October it says, which is also low season. So let's just say we want to go September, I don't know, September 9th, and then let's just say, you know what, let's just go one way for now. Actually, yeah, it is one way, so let's just hit that. So from here, for one way, we're looking at about 900, oh, never mind, $400. There you go. So again, I'll just give it a little bit of cushion. I'll probably say $500, $600 one way, and then, because it says here, you know, anything below 600 is fairly decent. So yeah, this is a good price. So I'm gonna go with that. You know, I'll also be able to determine how much I'll need for this trip by knowing how long I'll go for. And I typically go to countries for a month to really soak it all in, but I think for Romania, you know, many sites and blogs I'm finding on the YouTube videos, everyone's just saying 2 to 3 weeks is good enough. So I think I'll do 3 weeks in the country. So yeah, I'll calculate all of that, and then after that I'll look at common scams and what not to do in Romania. Everyone has a different set of rules, and again, I'll go back to ChatGPT, common scams in Romania, or what not to do. Sometimes I like to step out of ChatGPT because I do like reading from other people through their vlogs or blogs. So sometimes I like to step out of there. And then, for example, 10 scams to avoid in Romania. This is a blog, and it's just parking payments, pickpockets, dishonest taxi drivers, charity donations, currency exchanges, and all that. So I'll get myself up to speed with this. Again, I'll skim through it just to get a better understanding of how the country works, because I know that traveling or getting scammed is part of traveling, but you want to minimize that as much as possible. So yeah, and then after that, I'll make a list of what to pack. And since I'm planning to go around fall season there, I'm gonna make a list of layers of clothes to bring, and voila, that is essentially it. Nothing too complicated, nothing locked in too early, just enough structure to feel confident and get some knowledge about the country, and also have enough flexibility to actually enjoy the trip. For me, planning isn't about building a perfect itinerary. It's about understanding what I want to experience and knowing roughly what it'll cost, and just giving myself options. Once I have all of that, everything else can come together naturally as the trip gets closer. So if you tend to overthink planning or feel overwhelmed before you even book anything, try this approach. Start with the experience, do a light pass on the logistics, and don't pressure yourself to have every detail figured out right away, because if you traveled, things don't always happen as planned, but more so what is meant to happen for you, if that even makes sense. As mentioned, I'm still in this in-between phase right now while we're building our home base here in Canada, but planning future trips like this keeps that sense of travel alive for now. And once I'm back on the road, I'll definitely share more of the actual execution, the booking, budgeting, and how it all plays out in real life. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel just yet, and stay tuned for all of that. If this helped you at all, let me know in the comments section down below how you plan your trips and all that stuff, and where you're thinking of going next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.